Hi, I'm John Sullivan with 401k Specialist. I'm here in Chicago at a meeting of the Nuveen Retirement Outcome Leadership Council, and I'm joined by the one and only Dick Friedman with Iron Financial. And we were talking what else? Fiduciary, right? What's going on with fiduciary now and everything that's happening with the DOL, the SEC? How are you seeing it?
That's a really good question. I think we're back to square one, to be honest with you, and I think it's a new day, a new age. I think that
now other people are saying that we're at the end of this thing, that it's done, it's over.
I don't believe that to be the case, really? and I think that we're more approaching the second or third inning of where we are. The Department of Labor's stepped back now out of the fiduciary rulemaking, and the SEC's kind of broadly put their toes into the water. But I think that's only part of the whole equation that ultimately matters as far as fiduciary liability and obligation and how that ultimately works out. I think states are becoming very involved now in putting fiduciary rules in place, which are going to make a difference in how advisors operate in this space. I think class action litigators, I like to say a lot, this is like the new asbestos that's out there. And I really think this is something that is going to be an evolving type of structure in today's day and age, whether you're talking about retirement plan assets or HSAs, simples. I think any time a participant is involved, I think you're talking about we're just at the start of this.
So I'm going to tee you up here with an easy one. So what does that mean for 338?
Well, I think ultimately it's going to be interesting to see how broker-dealer firms react to what's happening in the space, whether they're going to let their broker reps be fiduciaries in any capacity, which I think is a good thing in a certain element. 338 fiduciary services is a different type of structure where I'm not quite sure why any individual advisor would want to be a 338 fiduciary. There's a lot of value that an advisor can, and I think the strongest selling point for advisors are being a fiduciary at the participant level, helping participants, helping them. They need advisors, they need advice, they need not only inside the plan but outside of the plan, they need that kind of thing. But there was just litigation this morning which was all encompassing around a whole different sort of elements relative to a plan, and I'm not quite sure why advisors would want to step into that particular role. So I think the future for independent 338 fiduciaries like Iron is bright, and I also think that this is not limited to ERISA, and I like to say a lot that litigation is not spelled ERISA. I think they're coming. Sure. I think they're coming after the public sector space. Anywhere there's participants that are paying more than they otherwise would be subject to paying, I think whether it's the states, whether it's litigators, they're open.
We say that Schlichter is going after the Vatican next, so yeah, I mean there's no sacred cows anymore.
I don't think there is sacred cows, and I don't see why ERISA. I mean, ERISA, at least you can protect yourself by putting a defined process in place and adhering to that process. In the other sectors of the marketplace that aren't ERISA based, that's just something they haven't had to deal with.
Perfect segue then. Tell us a little bit about Iron Financial.
Well,
how do you guys help in the space?
Well, we are a national ERISA 338 and 321 fiduciary, and they are different services that work for different mentalities in the space. We now today manage a little over 2,600 retirement plans as a 338 fiduciary and a little over $4 billion in assets in that space. And we're excited to be in this because I think at the end of the day, not only can we provide that value proposition to plan sponsors where they can effectively offload the liability to us and under the rules that are available, but we're also supporting advisors. So advisors can actually do what good advisors can do, which is actually get in there, help participants, and get them on the road to retirement without that threat of liability over them all the time.
That's why we're all here. Fantastic.
It is.
Dick Friedman, as always.
Thank you, John.
Wonderful. Great
Good
talking to you.
you.
Once again, I'm John Sullivan with 401k Specialist.